What happens when someone tells you you have brain cancer? Where does your mind go? For most people, when they're told they have cancer, your mind goes to, is this a death sentence? Whether it's true or not. And when I was diagnosed with cancer at the age of 26, I felt that way too, for a short period of time. But cancer wasn't a death sentence. Cancer was a door to freedom that I did not know was possible, that I could achieve, that would lead me down a path of discovering who I am, letting go of limited beliefs that we choose to believe, and really realizing that I can and you can do anything.
That's good, man.
And in this state of self-discovery, I discovered these 5 states I went through. These 5 states of being that really led to my own personal freedom. And to back it up, before cancer, I was living in this first state. It's called unconscious self-expression. We don't realize that you are creating your own life based on your own thoughts, what you say, what you do. And before cancer, I was living in Toronto. I was that corporate guy, I was a corporate soldier. All I cared about was this. But I didn't know that I sacrificed my own personal well-being, my own health, for something that could be easily taken away. And then I heard that inner voice, that little voice that comes up and says, Brandon, something's wrong. Something needs to change. And I had this out-of-body experience where I saw myself sitting. I was like, holy crap, I need to quit my job. If I don't quit my job, something bad's going to happen. And immediately when I felt that, I got afraid. And I entered the second state, which is protective self-expression. And that's when you become so identified with where you are that you can't see, nor do you want to see any other possibility. It's like being in a state of denial. Because I was so used to this lifestyle. I had identified it. It became a story. And to let go of your story, to let go of your identity is accept something else. And as human beings, we're afraid. So I held on. And I'm stubborn. I really am. So I had to get hit on the head, quite literally. I did. And then that hit on the head was brain cancer. And when brain cancer happened, I felt like a total victim. I felt completely victimized. And the interesting about this state is when you're in victimhood, this is the third state, is when you feel like you have no control. You're just reacting to life's conditions. And each one of us here has been in this state. Like whether you've been abused, whether you've been betrayed, whether you've been wronged. So how do we dig deep and go from this place of feeling like a victim to taking responsibility and getting back in control? When you feel like you have control. Well, you need to believe in you, in this. And enter the fourth state, because the fourth state's the exact opposite. It's when you go into withdrawn self-expression. And that's when you don't believe in yourself. And typically in this state, it's where you doubt yourself. You second guess yourself. You don't feel worthy. This state is all about the relationship of you with your own self. Am I good enough? And these 4 states, this is where I was living before cancer. And cancer really tested this. But I was able to make that leap from here to here. And the way I found that was through here. And the missing piece is what I call inner fortitude. And it's really comprised of 3 things. This is what allowed me to traverse cancer and get to where I am today. And that's composed of focus, agility, and commitment. And what I mean by focus is when I woke up from surgery, I had this incredible will to live. And that was my focus. That was my goal. That was my compass. Every day I wanted to live. Whether, if I would or not. That's what got me up every day. And the second thing is agility. And what I mean by agility is our ability to choose. Because that's what it comes down to. What do I have control over versus what do I not have control over? I had no control over cancer. I had no control over 4 tumors in my brain. What I did have control over is my ability to choose to feel good, to go down a path of love, appreciation, gratitude,
Right. Yes.
or fear.
Right.
It's a road. And the last thing is commitment. It's the commitment you make to yourself every single day, unconditionally. Without expectations of other people changing or a situation changing, you're doing it for you. And that's what got me up every day. And we have these 3 pieces you can apply to anything. You can be a better person, a better boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, better your career. So who would I be if I didn't do these things? I wouldn't be here right now talking to you. I'm going to be dead. I don't even know. But I'm here right now.
Come on.
But what lies ahead if you do these things? What lies ahead if you focus and have that clarity and that ability to choose? Right here. The 5th state, which is authentic self-expression. This is when you're living in your purpose and passion in every moment, and anything is possible.
Right.
When you're in this state, you're no longer controlled by fear.
Right.
If it comes up
Yeah,
and moves
come on.
through you, you are in this state where you take full responsibility for your life.
Yes.
Nothing happens to you. You are creating your own life.
Right.
And that's the personal liberation I felt through cancer. And it's something I work through every day because, I'm human. My core wounds, I felt like a victim all my life.
Right.
I
Right.
felt like a worthless because of the trauma I went through as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't let that control me anymore.
Wow.
And my challenge to you is this. How can you bring more focus? How can you bring more choices in what you do or commitment in your life? Because anything is possible. And if you want to know more, I'm here. You can talk to me after.